All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome to another NetherRealm Studios next game video. Mortal Kombat 13, Injustice 3. Those are the two likely candidates for the next NetherRealm game. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Another Mortal Kombat game, 3 in a row. But I mean, with the hype of the Mortal Kombat 2 movie, wouldn't this be like a perfect time to bring out a Mortal Kombat game when you're gonna get a brand new set of fans that are gonna be seeing the Mortal Kombat movie for the first time? That's just me personally, but of course, we haven't had an Injustice game in 9 years, and that would be a perfect time again to bring it back, almost for a 10-year anniversary type of deal. But today we're talking about something really exciting that happened at this point like a week ago. I'm just like really late on the news. I apologize for that. But there was a job listing for a temporary QA tester for the next NetherRealm Studios project. That is huge when it comes to the hope that we're going to get the next NetherRealm game sometime soon. How soon? I can't tell you guys. I've already predicted this shit like wrong like 2 to 3 times. So I'm not Nostradamus, let's just say, when it comes to that. Because NetherRealm Studios has changed their schedule so much, because before you could predict this easily. But they changed their schedule so much ever since MK11 pretty much. So let's check out this post. By the way, leave a like on the video if you're excited for MK13 or Injustice 3. Let's check this post out. I saw this on Event Hubs like a few days ago. I just hadn't had a chance to make the video. NetherRealm Studios post temporary QA tester job position for their next game. And the article links to the original post, which was this right here. If you're in the Chicago area and looking for a gig, NetherRealm is hiring temp QA testers for our next project. Click the link below to apply. And that link takes you to a page over here with the job description, everything that they require of you on the Warner Brothers website. So 100% legit. Temporary QA tester. It just gives you the rundown here. I don't need to read all this, but just pretty much the job of a QA tester is to break the game, to find bugs, find glitches in fighting games, find infinites. For example, when the Mortal Kombat X online beta was going on, right? And they were implementing some changes that were going to come when the full patch went live. And Jackie had an infinite with shotgun. And obviously that was taken out when the patch actually went live. So that's kind of like the role of the QA testers. Just find things that are not supposed to be in the game, so then the development team could go in and fix it. And the exciting thing about that is that they're so deep into development that they actually need QA testing. And my theory, like my thought process, is because this is a temporary job, that means that they just need some extra hands to help QA test the game, because they've already had, what this tells me, they already have their like core QA testers that have probably been testing out the game for months, and they just want some extra hands on deck to help them with QA testing. That's why this is a temporary role, in my opinion. That or I guess in my head, that's my thought process when it comes to that. So this just in general tells us that they're very, very deep into developing their next game, which is really exciting, because there is now hope that we're going to get the game this year. There's hope. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but because they're QA testing the game and they're deep in development to where they need QA testing. And if you think about the release date of MK1, it was released in September, right? So if they're doing all this QA testing now, that leads 5 months until the game is released. And if I'm not mistaken, MK1 went gold only a month before the release, meaning that they were working on the game up until August, or a month and a half or something before the game actually got released. So that's still plenty of time to QA test, to find bugs, to find glitches, but there's a lot of the game that's probably already done. And that's really exciting, because Summer Game Fest, is right around the corner, June 5th. Last game. Oh, by the way, so people are going to be like, man, it might be too early. Like, I hope that they don't rush the game or anything. But if you guys remember, the support for MK1 ended early. And this is the post right here. This is from May of last year. And it was pretty much Mortal Kombat Twitter saying that there is not gonna be any future support as far as extra content, no more DLC characters. And then at the bottom here it says, "We understand this will be disappointing for fans, but our team at NetherRealm needs to shift focus to the next project in order to make it as great as we possibly can." Obviously, there's no indication on what that project is, but the fact that they shifted focus and instead of doing DLC content for MK1, they started to shift their entire focus on the next game, gave them, who knows, extra months of development. So if you guys don't know, whenever NetherRealm releases a game, they're already working on their next game before that game even releases. So before MK1 even release, they're already working on the next game. Maybe not like hands-on, but they're already thinking about concepts, ideas, stuff like that for their next game. So literally before their game comes out, they're already thinking about the next game. That's just how like NetherRealm Studios operates. This is coming from Ed Boon, by the way. In multiple interviews, he said that. So they've had 3 years of development time for the game. And before the pandemic, they would only spend about a year and a half or 2 years developing the game. But that was before they switched to their new Unreal Engine, because they used to use Unreal Engine 3, I think. And they just like mastered that, so they could probably pump out games fast. And now I think for MK1, they switched over to Unreal Engine 5, and I think that's what they've been working on. So yeah, this is just exciting overall because it really gives me a lot more hope that we're going to get a game sooner than we thought. At this point, I had already sort of given up on the idea of potentially having a new game released this year. But even though, like I said, I'm not guaranteeing it. I don't know anything more than you guys know. But this gave me a lot more hope that, yeah, there's a really good chance that we might get something this year. And if we do get something this year, something will be announced. Things will start getting teased around May, potentially. And then obviously June 5th, unless they just want to do a surprise, like just surprise reveal June 5th. But what they did for MK1 was they started teasing, I think at the beginning of May or at the end of April. And then they released a reveal trailer sometime early May. And then the gameplay reveal for MK1 was for Summer Game Fest. But I think that the campaign, the announcement of MK1 was probably like rushed, because if you guys remember, the CEO leaked the fact that there's going to be another Mortal Kombat game, and that probably threw off NetherRealm Studios' plans completely on how they wanted to reveal the game. And I felt bad for them at the time, but it seems like that's not going to happen this time. There hasn't been any leaks. No. Oh, by the way, I just want to say this because I've already seen multiple fake leaks. Please do not believe any people saying, hey, I used to work for NetherRealm for 5 months and this is the game that we're getting. This is the story mode. This is the roster. These are the characters. I'm not going to cover any of those. They're all going to be fake. Obviously, there might be something that comes up that might be true, but for the most part, 99.9% of the leaks that you guys are going to see. What a coincidence that they started coming out after this, QA tester job listing popped up, right? Because obviously there is going to be a game. It's deep in development already, and we might get it sooner than we had first anticipated. So, of course, there's going to be people trying to get some attention, trying to stir up the community. Just don't believe any of these fake-ass leaks. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it, guys. Really, really exciting because they're deep in development on their next game. And I'm really hoping that they release it this year in September, October, whenever they want to release it. I just really hope that it's this year. because as much as I love MKX, I could play it all day. Don't get me wrong. Having something new to play is gonna be really fun, and it's just like the first year of a new game is always the most exciting. So I can't wait. I'll keep you guys updated if there's any news on, like anything whatsoever, any teases from Ed Boon. Obviously, the campaign for the Mortal Kombat movie right now is probably the priority for Warner Brothers when it comes to Mortal Kombat, and that comes out May 8th, I think. Yeah, 3 days after my birthday, so I'll definitely be going to watch that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.